The breakdown you're about to watch is brought to you by We Want Picks Premium Membership. Premium membership gets you all sorts of exclusive content, early bets, fantasy tools, and betting guides. Check it out now, WeWantPicks.com. Click Become a Member. Get ahead of these betting lines and get access to all of the tools now with an optimizer. We have a DraftKings optimizer available to you at the same low price of $10 a month. That's $2.50 a week. You get all of our bets early, all of our fantasy content early. You get betting tools and now a DraftKings optimizer, DraftKings ownership, and everything you need to build now up to 150 lineups with just a few clicks. WeWantPicks.com at the top. Click Become a Member. It is only $10 a month. All right, $10 a month. You have one good week. You pay for the whole year. WeWantPicks.com at the top. Click Become a Member. And as always, if you want $50, all you need to do is go to WeWantPicks.com/bets. Sign up with any one of our betting partners. Make a deposit, and I will send you $50 as a thank you. That's WeWantPicks.com/bets. Sign up, make a deposit. I'll send you $50. Next up, at UFC 278, we have the man, AJ Fletcher, taking on Ange Loosa. AJ Fletcher, 9-1.
Sorry, you know what I just remembered? I'm pretty sure I was trying to remember today. I was like, and now that I see that picture, I'm like, he's the dude where I said that dude looks like he just gets punched in the face. AJ Fletcher's got a real punchable face.
I don't think that was AJ that you said.
You don't think it was AJ? I thought it was. The second I saw it pop up, I'm like, I think that was the dude.
I don't think it was him. Anyway, we have AJ Fletcher taking on Ange Loosa. AJ Fletcher, 9-1 overall, 4-1 in his last 5, coming off the first loss of his career. Ange Loosa is 8-3 overall, 2-3 in his last 5, and he is alternating wins and losses. AJ Fletcher is short, jacked, and intense. He's coming off that very close loss to Matt Semmelsberger, where he landed more strikes, had more takedowns, more reversals, more control time, and scored more points in DraftKings as a loser than Matt did at the winner. Very embarrassing, bad decision in my opinion. And breaking down his film, you'll see that he's got a lot of knockouts, a lot of knockdowns, everything from head kicks to overhand rights, but he isn't a striker. He's actually a fantastic wrestler and grappler. He does an amazing job with his takedowns where he'll attack on his feet, and as soon as you start to counter, he will just drop and shoot with power and speed. I always like to compare him to Sean Shirk. Anybody who's been watching MMA pre-COVID. Mm-hmm. Most of you were COVID.
Big Sean.
Pre-COVID, Sean Shirk. Little Sean.
I had his jersey.
Oh, did you? Once he hits the ground, though, he pounds away. He's so fast that any movement from his opponents ends up being an opening for him to improve positions. Ange Loosa had a failed Contender Series bid last year, but he bounced back on the regional scene with a win over former UFC fighter John Doomsday Howard. Literally a week after that Doomsday win, he stepped up and fought Munir Lazzez, and he lost that fight. But honestly, it looked like if Ange had a full camp, that he would have won that fight. Like, he looked like he just was right there, and the issue was he fought a week before. So that was actually impressive in a loss. Style-wise, he's a durable striker. He's got decent volume, solid power, and an incredible chin. He punts that jab out like crazy, and he throws nice low kicks to manage range and keep his opponents backing up. But if he does have trouble when you come at him and pressure forward. So he doesn't deal with pressure well. It's very similar to David Onama from last week. Ange Loosa is listed at having a 100% takedown defense, which is a true statement. But if you go back and watch that Jack Maddalena fight, he started strong, but he did lose a couple of those grappling exchanges, and he slowed down big time. And I see that here as well. I think AJ coming forward, blast double leg takedowns. I think he's going to get it done. Ange is very dangerous on his feet, but I think AJ has proven... Why'd you laugh?
The people in the comments are so funny, man. Knocks out Mrs. Trunchbull's son.
Anyway, Ange, he's very dangerous on his feet, but pressure can be a problem for him, and I see AJ getting it done. AJ lost to Semmelsberger because he made a couple of dopey decisions, right? Didn't do what he was supposed to do a few times. It was his UFC debut. I believe it was short notice. I just don't see any of that happening here. He got that loss out of the way, showed how competitive he is, shook those off. I think he comes out here. I put up a 1-unit money line bet on AJ Fletcher at -150. I put that up for premium members. It is now moved to -165. It was continuing to move. And Chris Riley, so this was not available a few hours ago. This must have just dropped. Anybody watching, Bet Online added a new prop bet called Most Takedowns. And in a fight, whoever gets more takedowns wins that bet. If you get 1, the other person gets 0, you win the bet, even if that guy loses the fight. And if there's no takedowns or you tie, it's a draw. You get your money back. It's a push. So Chris Riley says the AJ Fletcher takedown prop bet at BetOnline is only -260. Literally, as you're talking, I'm going to go ahead and place that bet. If you go to weonpicks.com/bets, we have a bunch of betting partners. BetOnline is the only one that offers this. It's basically guaranteed money. Just like Jason Witt. I bet on Jason Witt. Dude got flatlined, but hey, that takedown bet cashed. And that's all I really cared about. Same exact situation here.
And I had
with
it on
AJ Fletcher.
Zalal plus money and nearly hit that, but I got my money back. So that was another situation where I got my money back even though it was plus money. So, yeah, I mean, the more I listen to Angelo, the more I realize if I held him down and rubbed my balls on his face, there's really nothing he would do. I'm on the AJ Fletcher side. Did you even hear what I said?
I see the comment, and I heard what you said.
All right. Yeah, see, there's nothing. You're right, Didi. There's nothing he would do.
I think that
you're exactly right. I'm going AJ Fletcher in this matchup, but I don't exactly love it. This was one of the ones, my last pick. I picked all my fights. I even sent it to you, and I was like, how do you feel about this fight? I actually reached out to you, which is not something I typically enjoy doing or like doing, but I got your feedback on it, and I ended up going with AJ Fletcher. But you mentioned that Matt Semelsberger fight. I didn't love that fight for AJ Fletcher. Obviously, he looked great first round. Those blast doubles were very powerful. He was shooting those. He got him in the second. I think even the third round as well. But in the second round, he lost position, ended up on his back with like 2 minutes left in the round. And the sense of urgency, there was zero sense of urgency to get back to his feet in that round, and he lost the round because of it. The exact same thing happened in the third round. He was able to get a takedown, Semelsberger reversed the position, and he just stayed on his back. And maybe that was a short notice, maybe that was a gas tank issue. I hope that he's fixed those issues because he is going to be my pick in this matchup. But if he can't get the takedowns in this matchup and his cardio starts failing him, Loosa looks like a pretty good underdog, because if you watch that matchup versus Lazzez, again, like as you mentioned, a week notice fight. He came back, fought a week later. Lazzez was trying to shoot those same type of blast doubles that AJ shoots. The exact same thing. We're just boom, and it's not cutting the corner. AJ doesn't do the Dominic Cruz talks about all the time. You got to cut the corner, you got to cut the angle. AJ just tries to run through you, slam you against the cage, and then take you down. Lazzez was trying to do the exact same thing to Loosa, and Loosa had no issues defending it. He was able to get his hips under against the cage and defend those takedowns. And if he is able to do that early on in this fight, and AJ's gas tank starts failing him the way it seemed like it was failing him against Semelsberger, Loosa could have some good success on the feet in the second and the third rounds of this matchup. So, I'm on the AJ Fletcher side. He is going to be my pick. My hope is that he comes in and has maybe paces himself a little bit better, shows a little bit more gas tank, and is able to get those takedowns. But if he's shooting these blast doubles and not being able to get them early, this might be a live bet situation, because I've seen him, I don't want to say he didn't quit against Semelsberger, but to be on your back in a fight that you were winning and lose because of that, that's a red flag to me.
Yeah, I certainly, I mentioned he made a couple of bonehead decisions later in that fight. I do think he shook it off, right? UFC debut, a lot goes into that. Undefeated, I think literally getting the loss out of the way, getting the UFC fight out of the way. It's a striker versus grappler matchup here. And I think, AJ's got they're lightning fast, and he'll just keep coming with them. So I like him to get it done. I do think he gets it done. Frankly, I probably would have not done the money line bet and just put a little bit more on the takedown bet, but that wasn't available when I did my money line, and now the money line has moved in my direction. So I'm good with it, and I've officially placed that bet, AJ Fletcher, most takedowns with BetOnline. Again, go to weonpicks.com. If you use our link and you sign up with BetOnline and you hammer those takedown lines, I'll send you $50 as a thank you for supporting us and our partner. I put 2 units on that at the minus 260. What do you think of DraftKings? I like AJ Fletcher at 8,400 because I think he will get the takedowns. I think he will get the control time, and I think that's going to score well.
Yeah, he's probably my least confident favorite that I picked. Does that make sense? Of fighters that are favorites, he's definitely my least confident. I picked all my fights, and I was like almost a coin toss for this one. So I picked AJ, but I'm not going to put him in my lineup for $8,400. But I understand why you would.
I was going to say, I like him at the 8,400. We got the Monkey Knife Fight strike line 67 to 50. I think it's a more. I think they go at it. I think I don't necessarily think it's a short fight. I think it's the over on rounds, and these guys are just going to go. I think this is going to look like the Matt Semmelsberger fight, honestly. Lots of takedowns, aggressive, sloppy. It looks just like that. Yeah, except AJ will be a little tighter. So they'll blow past this strike line. I'm very confident in that. Go to weonpicks.com/MKF. It is daily fantasy. All you need to do is say more or less than the strike line in yellow you see on the screen. And if you're right, you can triple your money. weonpicks.com/MKF. They will instantly match your deposit. Take the deposit match and play some of these lines.